guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Makayla and today we are doing a fun video that I've been wanting to do for a while now, where my lovely puppy Orzo is gonna choose the books that I read for a week. And how it's gonna work is I'm gonna pick out 3 books at a time that are on my TBR that I want to read, and I'm gonna put a little piece of paper on them, and then I'm gonna put Orzo in a stay, set down 3 treats, and then release him, and whatever treat he goes to first that correlates with the book is what I'm going to read first. So it's a little confusing, but I will show you as we pick out our first book for this video. I'm so excited to do it because this is my little guy Orzo. You probably see him in the background of a lot of videos, but he's just my little guy and I love him. Okay, so I picked my 5 options of books that I have, and they include Never Lie by Frida McFadden, ACOTAR, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Their Vicious Games, and The Escape Room. If you can't tell, I'm more in like a thriller slash fantasy mood. I've just been reading a lot of romance recently. So Orzo is going to repeat the process 3 times, so he's going to pick 3 out of the 5 books in this stack, and those are the 3 books that I will read during this week. I'm deciding to pick them all out at once just because I feel like it'd be easier than having to reset everything up when I finish a book. So we're just going to pick them all 3 out at once. Okay, so now we are going to go over the 3 books that Orzo picked out. I already threw away the sticky notes. I actually already filmed this clip and it was blurry and I didn't realize it, so we're refilming it. So the first book that he chose was The Escape Room by Megan Golden. I just got this when I was on vacation and I'm super excited. It's a mystery slash thriller kind of, and I'm so excited to read this, so that this will be the first book that we read. I'm going to start it right after I film this. The second book is on my Kindle, and it is Never Lie by Frida McFadden, which is one of her thrillers. One of my favorite booktubers, Allie, she just read it and she really liked it, so I'm excited to pick that one up. It is on Kindle Unlimited, so I obviously don't have the physical book. And then the third book is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I've been wanting to read this book as well for a while, and I'm so excited to finally get to read it. And yeah, so I feel like these are 3 very good books, and I'm so excited to finally get started on the challenge. So I thought I'd tell you guys what this book is about because I had never seen it before, and yeah, so I'm gonna read you the inside cover. So, in the lucrative world of finance, Vincent, Jules, Sylvia, and Sam are at the top of their game. They've mastered the art of the deal and celebrate their success in style, but a life of extreme luxury always comes at a cost. Invited to participate in an escape room challenge as a team-building exercise, the ferociously competitive co-workers crowd into the elevator of a high-rise building, eager to prove themselves. But when the lights go off and the doors stay shut, it quickly becomes clear that this is no ordinary competition. They're caught in a dangerous game of survival. Trapped in the dark, the colleagues must put aside their bitter rivalries and work together to solve cryptic clues to break free. But as the game begins to reveal the team's darkest secrets, they realize there's a price to be paid for the terrible deeds they've committed in their ruthless climb up the corporate ladder. As tempers fray and the clues turn deadly, they must solve one final chilling puzzle. Which one of them will kill in order to survive? I'm so excited. So we're gonna jump right into reading this. Good morning, everybody. I thought I'd provide a little update on where I'm at in the escape room. Last night I got to page 65, which is 18% the way in. So far we have 2 point of views. So we have the point of view of the current timeline where they're in the escape room, and that is starting to pick up, which is super exciting. Then the other timeline, we're learning about one of the people that's in the escape room, and I have a feeling we're gonna learn about everybody eventually, but so far we've only followed one character, and it is pretty interesting. I feel like the writing style is kind of interesting. She uses a lot of big words, which like doesn't intimidate me, but it kind of caught me off guard a little bit, but I do like it. And my current plan for today is to probably finish this. Do you hear him panting? So that is a little update, and we are gonna get back to reading. I'm back with an update on the escape room. I got to page 212 and then I actually took a break and read a new release that I really wanted to read and couldn't stop thinking about. So I paused reading this to read that. But now I am back to this. I was very wrong about the plot. The other storyline is not someone that's in the elevator, it's a different person. And I have some theories. I'm not gonna say them obviously because I don't wanna spoil anything, but I will let you know when I finish it if my theories are correct. And so far, I'm actually really enjoying it. It's one of those, it really makes you angry in the sense, like it provokes a lot of emotion when reading it. So I am excited to continue this. The star of the show has joined in on the reading. Say hi, Orso. I finished The Escape Room by Megan Golden. I think overall, I'm probably going to give it a 3.5 stars, which my thrillers I rate on a much more difficult scale, but the reason it is a little bit lower, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. There really wasn't that much like escape room elements in it, and I was really excited for that aspect, but I still really did enjoy the storyline of this. You really follow like humans' nature and like how ugly people can get in the hopes of money and power, and I really did enjoy that aspect. Like I said earlier, there was the plot twist that I did guess. I was correct in my assumption. I'm not going to say what it is obviously, but I did guess it, so I'm proud of myself for that. And I was reading the little back excerpt on the author, and this is actually her debut novel, so that's really cool. And that was actually one of the little things on my book bingo in my reading journal for the year, was read someone's debut novel. So I get to check that one off with this one. And yeah, I had a really good time reading this. I would recommend it, but I would say don't go in at the expectations of it being like the escape room really like type thing. It's not necessarily that, but overall I still did enjoy it. And now we are going to move on to reading Never Lie by Frida McFadden, which I am going to read on Kindle Unlimited. So let's do it. Okay, this is future Makayla filming for past Makayla because I never actually explained what Never Lie is about, so I thought I'd come on here and actually explain what the book is about. So you're following Trisha and Ethan in the current timeline where they are going and touring houses, and they find this house that's remote in the middle of nowhere. Well, they end up getting caught in a blizzard right when they get there, so the realtor isn't able to make it and they're stuck at the house. Well, the house ends up being the house of a famous psychiatrist that went missing 4 years before, and weird things start happening at the house, and Trisha starts slowly uncovering things about the psychiatrist, and that's kind of the premise of the book. It's really good so far. I'm really liking it. Okay, now we are going back to current Makayla. Bye! It is the next morning. I got to page 128, which is 37% the way into Never Lie, and I'm really liking it so far. It has great spooky vibes, and I obviously have some theories. It's very early on, but I love trying to predict thrillers, so we'll see if any of my theories are correct. But I am really enjoying it so far, and we're just gonna hang out and read for a while. Good morning, everybody. I'm back with some updates. Yesterday, I finished Never Lie by Frida McFadden, and let me say, it is probably one of, if not the favorite thriller that I've read so far. I give it 4.5 stars. I just really liked the spooky elements of it, and I felt like it was very good. It had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I did not predict the plot twist. I know I talked about trying to predict it. I did not get it correct, but it was still such a good plot twist. I loved it. And yeah, it's one of my favorite books I read by her, and just thriller in general, and I would highly recommend it if you were looking for a thriller. I also started The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue yesterday. I got, how many pages in? 150 pages in, and I am absolutely loving this book so far. The writing style is just so beautiful, and if you don't know what this book is about, you're following Addie LaRue, who has been alive for over 300 years, and she's cursed to where no one can remember her. So everyone forgets her the moment they lose sight of her. But in 2014, after living for 300 years, someone remembers her for the first time, and that's kind of where you're picking up, and it is so good. It is beautifully written. You're kind of going back and forth between the current timeline, and then you're learning about her life as a whole, and it's been so good. I love the writing in it, and I'm really excited. I'm flying through it, and I see why so many people love it. So that's a little update on where we're at. So like I said, this is the final book in this video, but my dog did a great job. I've loved all the books that I've read so far in this video. So we're gonna keep reading this, and I will keep you guys updated. I'm here to share some of my thoughts so far on The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I am 266 pages in, and I think one of the biggest thoughts I have about this book is I absolutely love the writing style. It is so whimsical and magical, but also beautiful and poetic at the same time. And I really, really enjoy the story of what would you do with your life if you could do anything and not be remembered. And it is just such a beautiful piece of storytelling. I'm really loving it so far. I started it yesterday, and I'm flying through it. And I marked kind of one of my favorite quotes of the book so far. There's a lot of good quotes, but I really liked this quote, and it says, "Do you think a life has any value if one does not leave some mark upon the world?" And that really just resonated with me, because all growing up, I had this fear of unfulfilled potential and just not being remembered and not being noticed. And that quote just really hit home, because that was such a fear for me growing up. Since then, I've really grown into myself and realized it doesn't matter what other people think of you. It's a matter of how you feel about yourself and how fulfilled you are in your own life. But I really like this book so far. I will probably finish it tonight. I'm not completely sure yet, but this has quickly become one of my favorite reads of the year, and I would recommend anybody to read it. There's a reason it's really popular and a lot of people like it. With an update. I finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue yesterday, and I really just needed to sit on my rating overnight, because I could not decide. I was between a 4.5 or a 5 star, and to be honest, I still can't really choose. I don't really do quarter stars, but I think this would be a 4.75. It just wasn't absolutely there for a 5 star, but I still really, really enjoyed it. The writing was just so beautiful and majestic, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm so excited to read more of her books. And yeah, I quoted another little quote, and it doesn't give anything away, and I'm not going to say who it's by, but it says, "Because happiness is brief and history is lasting, and in the end, everyone wants to be remembered." And I just think that's such a beautiful quote. And I had another quote earlier on in the book that I talked about on here that I really liked. And there was just a lot of really good quotes, and I love the story. The ending was so good. I loved it, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend this book. This is just another one of those. Like, it's very popular for a reason, and I would really recommend it. So that is, honestly, that's the end of this reading vlog. My dog picked 3 great books. Granted, I gave him 5 great options, but I really enjoyed all 3 books that I did read, and it was just such a fun video to make. But I will probably definitely include him in more videos because it was just so fun and I loved it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time filming this video, and I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!